through a very wide range of emotions playing this game. At first, I was violently angry because it's a fucking video game called New Zealand Story, and look, I'm just gonna be real honest, I don't know how much more I can take from video games. But then I started playing this stupid thing, and I was suddenly happy and nostalgic because this reminds me of Bubble Bobble. But then I saw the smears of blood on the walls and the weeping chickens, and then I wasn't sure what to feel anymore. In fact, I almost started a blog to discuss all my emotions, and factory farming, and why we should ban the circus. And then I realized I love the circus. Look, I recycle, I buy the squiggly light bulbs, I haven't used a napkin in 15 years, at least let me have the circus. You see? Behold the spectrum of emotions that is New Zealand Story. Revolution. Apparently the story in New Zealand is lithium for everyone. So I did some Googling, because the game's called New Zealand Story, and turns out this was originally released to arcades in 1988. Also turns out those little yellow chickens aren't chickens at all, they're Kiwis. Also turns out Kiwis aren't yellow. And look, if the game doesn't care about facts, neither do I. Henceforth, they're chickens. Also turns out, the game was developed by Taito. So now the Bubble Bobble thing makes sense, because that's the same developer from about the same time period. The controls make less sense, but look, we'll get to that later, because this is a cool platformer with cool ideas and cool chickens. No one even knows what Kiwis are. So I don't know what happened in New Zealand originally, but this is the revolution. It's a modern makeover for an arcade game, which just immediately puts it in my favor. And what it is, basically, is it's kind of like if Bubble Bobble and Mario had a baby. Actually, that would be an abomination. We'd have to set it on fire. Point is, it's a platformer, but with very arcade gameplay. The enemies fall down in lines, just like Bubble Bobble. And you can grab letters to spell out words that makes things happen, just like Bubble Bobble. And a lot of the levels have structures similar to those in Bubble Bobble. There are even pink whales. Not many games with pink whales, except for Bubble Bobble. But at the same time, this is all within the context of a very different game. This is more like a puzzle platformer, and that in every level, you have to find the key, then you have to go rescue your little chicken friend. So it's not straightforward platforming either. It's actually a really interesting combination of things, with a really interesting, stupid name. But you know, the weird thing is, as adorable as the game looks, it's actually a pain in the ass. It's like a hemorrhoid with a bow. There are traps all over the place. There are little spikes hidden in places where no one but a walking hemorrhoid would put little spikes. So, challenge can definitely be cheap sometimes. But for the most part, it's actually just tough and occasionally actually very clever game design. Especially the boss fights. To go back to the whale for a second, you actually have to beat this damn thing from within. You have to shoot its heart until it's dead. It's like a literal heart attack. It's the most violent game I've ever seen. Makes the chickens in Zelda look like pussies. So, what's not so hot about New Zealand Story? Well, to be honest, it's not, the platforming's kind of crappy, like the controls, it doesn't feel tight, it's just a little bit floaty. It's not bad, but it's just enough to make things kind of annoying sometimes, at least for me. I like very tight controls in a platformer. But there's also something intangible about it too, there's just something about this game that makes it feel like it's dragging sometimes. Makes it less fun than it seems like it should be. It got repetitive and boring way faster than I would have expected it to. I guess it might be all the searching, maybe, and the fact that the levels are actually kind of big and actually complex at times. Not really sure, but I certainly wouldn't call this a must-play DS game. I will say, though, it does have some very cool stuff with the stylus. You have to walk across the tightrope, balance the chicken. You have to tap the difference on the touchscreen while the enemies keep attacking your chicken. Sometimes your chicken wears armor, so no one can choke your chicken. See, if I called them Kiwis, I couldn't have made that comment. and then this entire review would have been for naught. Could control a bit tighter, does drag a bit, but it's got a lot of interesting ideas, even if some of them don't actually work that well, least of all the name. I'm not kidding, it's actually called New Zealand Story Revolution. I swear to God, I'm almost done with video games. For the Nintendo DS!